Coming up next, it's adventure time.
Coming up next,
More What's New, Scooby-Doo.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Craig of the Creek.
Coming up next,
Annoying Orange.
later,
Mad.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Sonic Boom.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More Uncle Grandpa.
later,
Clarence.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
More New Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu.
later,
The Amazing World of Gumball.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
A New Adventure Time.
later,
The Amazing World of Gumball.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
The Amazing World of Gumball.
later,
Adventure Time.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
A New Johnny Test.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
A new Pokemon the Series XY.
on Cartoon. Coming up next,
More Adventure Time.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Tom and Jerry Blast Off to Mars.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Steven Universe meets Uncle Grandpa.
later,
Teen Titans Go.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Uncle Grandpa.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Clarence.
on Cartoon Network. Coming up next,
Madagascar.
on Cartoon Network.